Welcome to ICIWorld.tv and All Talk TV.
Good to be here, Gary.
Spawning TV programs. We have a special guest today, Attila Lendvai. Is that, did I pronounce it correctly?
Close enough.
Okay, well, how would you pronounce it exactly?
Attila Lendvai.
Lendvai. Okay, I'd like to do it that way. And we've got something very special here today going on. But you know, this property show is introducing us to people that I'm learning about more things here, doing these little interview processes and learning about things that are going on here. How about you, David?
Yeah, and Attila's on to some really good things here. I mean, his company is doing really good work with, you know, bringing nature into the buildings, into your homes, and so on. So it's really good stuff. It's feel-good stuff, you know.
You know, and I'm seeing this now for the first time myself. I've heard of it before, and I know some office building developers doing it. And Attila's going to be helping us with this. But this is called Ecosystems and Technology Building. And it's not just for retail, office, or industrial buildings. It's also for residential homes as well. And I'm sure there's some fabulous reasons, and I'm talking oxygen and water and all those things that we think about, the regeneration of that. And Attila, can you enlighten us? What's giving the impetus, and why do people want to do this and even think about it?
Well, it's very simple, actually. Every creature on this planet lives in a habitat, except for humans. Human beings, if you think about it, our buildings really qualify as non-habitat. So with Peapod, by bringing nature back into buildings, we are actually creating advanced human habitat. And we are bringing nature back into our daily lives and invigorating the space with clean air, fresh water, and even organic food. We like to say, what could be more organic and local than your own home or your own office or your own place of business or your school or your retirement home or wherever anyone is. And we all know everybody's interested in wellness and quality of life. peapodLife is all about that.
David, you and I have heard the air quality in some people's homes, they're better off going outside the home. There's chemicals coming off of couches and coming off of carpets and all this kind of stuff. Even getting into your car when it's been closed for a long time, you should open your windows before you take that first breath from all those plastics giving off all this stuff.
Well, you know, I think we tend to forget often because we get so busy in our lives, you know, that we're living inside all the time, and you know, we're programmed to get up and go to work and do, you know, and every time if you ever go to the cottage in the summer, I mean, do you ever come back and then you say to yourself, I need to be doing this more often? How does it work, Attila? How do you bring nature into the home and into the workplace?
Well, our system is unique. Our strategic partner, Genetron Systems, developed this technology over a 30-year period and really perfected it. And we are the only company to sell complete high-order ecosystems for indoor spaces. And it's a very unique technology that, as opposed to taking some kind of a engineering or a mechanical systems approach and impressing it on nature, we use technology to support what nature already knows, and what nature knows best are ecosystems. And that's how we are able to bring that freshness, that energy, that vitality, everything you talk about that you experience up in the cottage. Everybody who's walked by our booth today and just stood next to our ecosystem, within minutes they say, I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel it. It's just like being outside. And the closer they are to it, and the longer they experience it, the more they realize, I can't believe I'm living without this in my office or in my home.
Yeah.
Or in my hospital.
Yeah.
You know, at one time, my wife was having some problems with migraines and things like that, and up on Yonge Street, they have these oxygen bars. And so here we have to go to an oxygen bar to get oxygen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, real good oxygen and relaxation. And what you're saying is that you're able to give fresh oxygen the way it's meant to be to a human.
The way nature does it. And who does it better than Mother Nature? It's not a systems approach, it's not a mechanical approach, it's an ecosystems approach. It's a balanced, harmonious approach. Imagine being in your home or your workplace and you feel good. It's like, imagine being at work in front of your computer and you feel like you're at the cottage. working away. The productivity, right? How you know how happy you are going to be to be there. If you're a business owner, how happy you're going to be when the productivity increases in your workplace. When the workplace incidence of illness and sickness due to stress, due to all those other reasons, and of course sick building syndrome that you already alluded to. Right? When all that gets reduced and the productivity increases and the wellness increases and the happiness factor and everybody's satisfied, and that is going to expand the impact of the ecosystem into the workplace, right to the bottom line. And it also affects building developers and investors as well, because anybody who installs one of our ecosystems has to realize they're installing something that's going to decrease some of the operational costs of the HVAC system, ventilation. It's going to increase the value of their property, and the ecosystem is a growing, living, vibrant thing. It grows over time. It's an appreciating asset.
Interesting.
The website that you can check while you're watching this particular session at a later time is called peapodLife.com. P-E-A-pod, P-O-D, life.com. And I find it interesting to be listening and seeing this while you're talking. Now, I have a lot of members on ICI World that are worldwide and that have traveled worldwide, and one of the problems you have in Beijing, for instance, in China, is an outside air that is terrible. Is it possible to have one of these ecosystems in Beijing, theoretically? It makes a point for here as well, of course, because of climate change and what's happening to atmosphere, and actually have an ecosystem in a home in the middle of Beijing that benefits from this?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, our ecosystems can produce air which is 10 times better than what's outside here in a major Canadian city like Toronto or Montreal. So Beijing, let's not say anything negative about our Chinese friends, but it's safe to say that we can achieve at least that much in better air quality indoors in Beijing or in any city for that matter with our ecosystems installed. It's just a natural process. You just give it some time as the air naturally circulates around. That fresh air through just that process of diffusion fills the space, and before you know it, you just have all these wonderful feelings of wellness and energy and also relaxation, which only nature can do. Only nature can soothe you and invigorate you at the same time.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Now, you mentioned that the presentation you gave here at the property show today, that was recorded. So if people want more information, where will they be able to watch that?
Well, all links to all the resources on peapodLife are available at www.peapodlife.com. The talk was videotaped, but I'm also hoping I'll be able to put the slides on SlideShare.
Okay.
We also have a blog, greenedition.blogspot.ca. We also have a Facebook page, peapodLife, and we also have, we're on Twitter at peapodLife. So if anybody comes to our website, there are links to all of these resources, and of course, as soon as these things become available online, we're going to announce them on Twitter, announce them on Facebook. We encourage people to follow us on Twitter and connect with us on Facebook, because we regularly write articles on our blog that explain the dangers of sick building syndrome, the benefits of clean air, the opportunities available to us with the most freshest, healthiest, organic, and local food you could ever imagine. And all of this is part of Peapod's mission, really, to educate the consumer, to educate the investor, the developer of real estate, to say, you know, it's time for something better. It's time for advanced human habitat. It's time for building ecosystems and technology, and that's the best.
Yeah, well, I think you guys are onto great stuff. Gary?
David, Attila is a graduate of Laurier University and an MBA program. So this is not a Johnny-come-lately. This is a well-educated gentleman who's taken on this business and bringing it to the benefit of four. I think that's fantastic what you're doing. My son happened to go to that school as well and graduated there as well, and it was just great. You have some testimonials from, you mentioned a jeweler and also someone else where they talk about the benefits of having it installed and working, and then there's prices from as little, maybe I shouldn't mention, but from 10,000 and up. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Depending on, you know, whether it's a commercial building or not.
Yeah.
But those are also available on his website. So that wraps up for here, unless you have any other questions, David.
No,
we can
that's
have
all.
Attila back in the future
We'd
again
love
to
to
talk
have him
more
back.
about it,
Thanks
because I'd like
for
to hear
being on the
about
show.
how that CO2 transfers back into oxygen and how you're doing it naturally, and we're going to learn more about that.
Indeed. Thanks for being with us, Attila.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. It was a real pleasure to be here.
And a pleasure to have you aboard, too.
Okay, Gary,
Okay.
you going to sign us off?
That's a wrap.